perfect.
Okay, I guess it's recording.
Is it?
Well, it didn't tell us, but
oh, it is. Cool. Okay, we got it figured out. Now we're ready to go. So, hey, welcome everybody to tonight's coaching call. This is going to be awesome. A lot of you have earned this call. Some of you are guests on this call. But one of the neat things is about, we've been doing this now for, how long have we been doing this? 7 years? Over 7 years now. And there's still new people joining and running with this thing. It's amazing. So tonight's going to be a fun call. A lot of you are new. There's a lot of new faces on the call tonight who are brand new to Plexus. And so we welcome you all to the call. One thing I want to, okay, sorry, we have so many people we're trying to admit into the,
and he's trying to talk.
And I'm trying to talk at the same time. So if it seems like I'm distracted, I absolutely am. But I just want to welcome you guys to the call. One thing is, in light of this business, showing up is one of the major keys. And so like you showed up tonight. So this is the first step. You are on the right track. So one thing that we like to do is we like to open these calls with prayer. So we are going to pray and ask the Lord to help us. And so let's pray. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity we have to meet together tonight. I pray that you give each one of us eyes to see and ears to hear what it is that we need to see and to hear. We commit these businesses to you. We commit our minds to you. We commit our words to you. And I pray that you give us wisdom as we share. And we commit this to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, amen. So there we go.
All right. Yep. I would love for you guys to use the chat. So tonight, if you have earned this call, please pop it in the chat. If you earned the cash prize, please pop it in the chat. If you are a guest on tonight and you're new to Plexus, we want to hear from you. So pop that in the chat really quick. Welcome to everybody that is brandy new. This is so fun. Is there a meeting? Oops, someone's asking a question.
He's asking for the meeting ID.
Oh, the meeting ID.
I can look it up.
Okay, sure. So anyways, we just want to welcome all you new people and also just say congrats to those who earned the cash prize for the call. Also private message us, those of you who did earn the gift cards and also your name in the sand in Hawaii next week. We are really excited to gift you with those fun things for committing to the daily tasks and all the requirements that we had in those little chat threads. So if you're not part of one of those chat threads, I just want to put a plug for that. If you're new, we have a little Tiny Habits call, or sorry, a Tiny Habits chat thread that you can be part of. It's super simple. If you are wanting to run and you want the accountability and the things that we're doing, the tasks that we're doing in the runners thread, feel free to let us know and we'll add you to that. So we created these Tuesday coachings for you guys. And this is born out of like kind of one of those things where like what we wish we had when we were first starting. And so what a blessing. Hopefully this is to you guys, that there is just a community to plug into, that you don't have to feel alone and by yourself doing this. There's a space for you to ask questions, to, ask like, is this normal? Is this, is what I'm feeling or thinking or dealing with, is that par for the course, right? And so we just want to give everybody a space to learn and to grow and to do this together. So the other thing I was thinking today is this business is so simple. The opportunity is a massive blessing, but it's so simple. I think sometimes people don't realize how simple it is, because it's literally not rocket science. I would say the biggest thing that will either make or break you in this business is the consistency piece. Just the consistency of sharing and talking about it with people hosting events, sharing on social media. Like that's what we've done. Just kind of rinse, wash, repeat. And it's just so interesting to see who God brings to your team as you're consistent and talking and praying through and sharing things like that. So I also love the beauty of group coaching. So as different people are going to hop on and they're going to have the floor, so to speak, to just ask their questions and kind of process with the coaches tonight. you will see pieces of yourself in whoever's getting coached. So that's what's so cool about this is you'll glean and learn by hearing other people getting coached and asking their questions. So welcome to the learning curve. That's what this is, right? So welcome. Before we close tonight, I will pop on and just share really quickly what is coming up at the end of the month, but we'll save that for later. So first off, we are going to, so hopefully you guys are popping in the chat some fun things. Congratulations, guys. Very fun. So, all right. Continue to pop in there. I would love to hear if you have a win, go ahead and share that as well, because we want that to be a really fun space for everybody to be able to pop in something cool that's happening right now. I'll just share really quick. I'm on day 2 of my reset and I'm not dying. This is round 2 for me. And I am floored at how much easier it is this time. Kind of like once you have your first baby, you're like, well, at least I know what to expect a little bit more, right? So I'm loving that. I'm loving the results I'm having so far. So, all right, we are going to kick off with coaching Jenna first. Carissa, do you want to hop on and just introduce her really quick?
Sure can. And I'm also doing the reset right now. I wonder why. Maybe we're headed to Hawaii soon. I'm on day 3 and I've got my tomato soup and I'm like, I'm dying. I'm so hungry. But I felt great day 1 and 2. So Jenna Langford has agreed to unmute tonight. And Jenna, can you wave? I want to see if I see you on the first screen. Okay, there you are. You're welcome to go ahead and unmute. So fun story about Jenna. She just got her products 2 days ago, but she has already signed 6 people and earned the Apple Watch. And she was the first person on my team to earn the Apple Watch. So she's gotten off to a sprinting start and we're all so excited for her, but everything's new to her. So I think there'll be lots of good stuff to chat about. So Jenna, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Jenna.
Hi.
Are you sweating right now?
No.
Oh, good. Oh, good. All righty. Tell us a little bit about how it's going, maybe what questions you have, what you're thinking. Congratulations, by the way, for 1, getting started, and 2, gathering 6 friends to do this with you and earning the Apple Watch. That is so fun. So tell us all the things.
I'm doing my reset right now too. I'm drinking my last thing of the night. But basically I am a nurse practitioner. I used to work with Charlotte in the ER, and probably for like a year and a half, she's kind of just been like planting seeds with me, and I've just honestly been all over the place doing a million different things. So finally she started posting about this reset and it just finally clicked and I needed to try it. But as I'm sure most people have tons and tons of different issues resulting from gut issues, I already feel so much better. So as soon as I started reading some of the science behind it all and all of the resources that Charlotte had to send me, I kind of knew that I was going to be like all on board. So I started recruiting some of my friends to do it with me. And now that I'm only on day 2, but feel just overnight, honestly, felt a huge difference. I was kind of at a place where I was just so bloated and feeling so miserable that I literally woke up today just feeling 1,000 times better. I slept so much better last night. So for me, even just feeling like a huge difference on day 1 was huge. I think because I have, we have that medical background. Sometimes we can kind of speak to our people who are nurses too, just because we know everyone's problem in our circles. So I think that's kind of been what helped me recruit the initial people I did, just because they're people that I talk to all the time. And I know that they all kind of have the same complaints, experience the same things that I do. So we are doing it together. I think 3 of them started with me yesterday. So it's been exciting, and everything, like she said, is brand new.
That's awesome. Well, tell us, how did you get 6 friends to do it with you? Like, did you just talk to them at work, or did you make a post, or what did you do exactly?
So I first shared Charlotte's post. She had her before and after pictures and kind of a testimony. I shared that first, and then I got a decent amount of questions from that. And so probably 3 or 4 of who I actually signed up were related to that post. And then the others were people that I was just face to face with. I've actually found it a little bit easier for me to do the face to face thing. I'm still kind of developing my technique for talking to them over Messenger. I just think it's a little bit easier when I'm face to face to kind of explain, why it would be beneficial and how I think it would help them. But I'm getting better. When I first started that first day, I was like all about the reset, and I was completely lacking in explaining the fact that it's a subscription and that, the triplex is what's going to like continue to get them to their goals and make them feel so good. And so Charlotte had to do a lot of coaching with me. Like, you don't want to just sell it as this 3-day reset. It's so much more than that. And so as I kind of realized for myself too what it was, I was able to articulate that a little bit better to them.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That is amazing. And you know what? I feel like when you first start, or when we first started, it was just kind of like, however it flowed, whatever was organic. So when he started sharing, it was like the guys on the work site with his road construction job. For me, I was at home with 5 babies. And so I utilize social media. I'm trying to think, maybe a few people in person, but I would say face-to-face is always so awesome. If that's your circle, if that's the way you share best, like lean into that for sure. And it sounds like you're, obviously you have a job out of the home, so utilize that opportunity for sure. And the people that and are connected with on a daily basis. I'll let you talk a little bit because I'm talking too much.
No, you're doing great. So first off, congratulations. When did you join? I missed that.
Thursday, I think.
Okay.
Thursday of last week.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. You are actually going to do the coaching tonight. So I don't know if you know that. So I don't know if you're going to get coached too much. I'm actually going to use everything you've said to help coach everybody else on this call. If you're new, I'm going to point out some highlights that Jenna has shared, because this is solid gold stuff if you want to run with this business. If you are not new and you're old, I'm going to share some things that Jenna shared tonight already, because this is solid gold and this is good for you and the new people that you may sign. She joined last Thursday, so we're not even a week into this. She's already on her way to senior silver. She's already hit fast start silver, right? So she's got a double bonus coming there. She's got a watch coming. She signed 6 people.
Ooh, 3 more and you'll be senior silver. Fast start.
I have 2 on the hook tonight. the system's down, so I can't get them signed up.
Perfect. So I want to point out just a couple of things. This is great. This is good. So she signed friends, people that she already knew. And I think this is really important when you're new or you're first signing up. You don't have to have a huge social media presence necessarily. You don't have to have a huge marketing scheme, or you don't have to be a social media influencer at all. When we started, she was like, Megan was a homemaker, a homeschool mom. I was a road construction guy. And when we started, we took what we knew about Plexus and we had a notebook. And that was it. Like, there was no, we just wrote down people's names that we knew and we reached out to them. Like, that was the system. Like, there was no, and this is exactly what Jenna's doing. She's not creating a network. She's using the network that she already has. And she's just sharing them with them. And I'd say one thing that's incredible that she's doing it together with them. She said they're doing it together. So as far as having to come up with all these things to say when you're reaching out to people, you don't make it difficult. It's kind of like, hey, dude, let's do this thing together. Right? Like, don't make it difficult. Just talk to people. Did you have to come up with any sales pitches, or did you just talk to them like you normally talk to them?
Yeah, I'm not like a great salesperson, so sales pitch doesn't work for me. That kind of shuts me up.
Right.
So I didn't want to go with that. And like I said, most of these people are people I've been around and I've heard complain about certain things, or I know kind of what their long-term goals are. And so that's really who I went to first, just because I could be like, hey, I know last week you were telling me, you know, you felt cruddy and you wanted to do this or this. I'm trying this thing. I already feel so much better. Like, why don't you try it with me? You know, you could have your husband try it with you or whatever. I have one of my girlfriends who hasn't ordered in a while, but she's gonna, I think she's considering doing the reset, but she has a really close friend that's close to her who has similar issues, who has never ordered anything from Plexus. So she's trying to see if maybe she'll do it with her. So sometimes just having somebody to do it with them makes it more of like a social thing, and people are then like more excited about it.
Perfect. So another solid gold nugget here. You don't have to come up or put on your gut health hat like when you talk to people just because you're in Plexus. Quite honestly, just talk to people. What she's saying is exactly how you do it. Like, and I've never met her. Like, I mean, she's only been in Plexus for 5 days. So I don't even know where you live. It's like, so this is just great stuff. Again, just talk to people. You don't have to come up. You don't have to be, you don't have to know everything.
Or
you have to know, go ahead.
Have a huge testimony, because some people think, well, I need to wait till I have a testimony to share. And we encourage people share from day one, because honestly, it's more believable and more vulnerable when you're like, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'll keep you all posted, but who wants to try it with me? Yeah. Right. And so it's more believable than if you wait 6 months and then have this huge long laundry list of things and people are like, what? You know? And so I was kind of in the height of detox when I started sharing, but I shared off the basis because I had researched the products enough that I knew that people needed it. And 2, our son's eczema went away. So I was like, all the moms need to know about it. So the reason I started sharing was like for a very simple reason, but, and I personally I knew it would take me at least 6 months to have results, because I was in the midst of healing from mold toxicity. So I just knew my gut was going to take a while to heal. And I'm really glad I didn't wait 6 months, because I would have missed out on a lot of people I could have helped, you know? So, yeah.
Another thing, I want to point this out too to everyone. So the Charlotte's post that you shared, was that your first Plexus post?
For me, yes.
Okay. She just shared her uplines post. Like, she didn't have to come up with all this content. She just shared her sponsors post. Guys, this might be the best training call we've ever had. So thank you, Jenna, for sharing this stuff, because this is brilliant. This is perfect. You should share this from stage at convention. This is great stuff. She didn't even come up with that content. She just shared her sponsors post.
It's so simple.
And then answered people's questions. This business is simple. We make it extremely difficult. Really, it's just a matter of sharing what we have with people and just helping people that want help. And she's doing that, and that's amazing. The other thing that she mentioned was talking about face-to-face. Megan mentioned it earlier. I prefer face-to-face. Zoom is better than other options for me because I can see people. I prefer that, but I think that's great. The faster, even if you read network marketing books, one of the things that's suggested is the faster that you can move someone face-to-face, the more of a connection that you'll have. There's something about human connection when you're face-to-face. You can look into a person's eyes. You can see what they do with their hands. You can see how they communicate, all of those things, and you can get a real good vibe on somebody. So if you can get someone face-to-face, that's a very good way to do this business.
So Jenna, do you have any questions that you've jotted down that you wanted to ask us, or any thoughts or even like fears that are coming up for you?
I honestly don't know. It's just been a lot of information the last couple of days. I'm not even sure that I've grasped it all yet. Charlotte keeps trying to go over things with me and explain everything. And I'm just kind of learning as I go. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that I can, place where I know enough to have any real questions at this point. But just over the past couple of days, like I said, with the resources she sent me, I've learned so much, and which was good for me because, like I said, I'm in the medical field. So a lot of our friends want like facts to back things up. They want science. And because of the, there's been a lot of double-blind studies and stuff like that to really back these products. That's really been beneficial for me because to me, in my normal job and doing this, if you're able to properly educate people, then it's like a given. There's no sales pitch once they know the facts behind something and they know that it's proven. So that's been really helpful for me. I think right now where most of my questions lie are like, she was helping me sign up my first people on my own, and just navigating the website and navigating the points and all of that. But not anything I can think of at the moment.
Great. That's a good problem to have. But you may have some questions pop up, but I was just thinking, what a gift you have with Charlotte as your sponsor. Can we all just give Charlotte a round of applause for being an amazing sponsor? Because that's the cool thing is you guys aren't alone in this. Even if if the person that personally signed you up isn't working or isn't engaged or whatever, you signed up under a relative, I promise you there is someone in the Plexus family that will totally help get your questions answered. And we have so many good tools with Facebook groups and YouTube and our virtual office, which is the great resources. I was curious, have you thought about hosting a little event either in your home or at a coffee shop or anything like that?
Or online.
Yep. Online works too.
I haven't.
Okay. So I would say that would be my suggestion for a next step. Obviously continue to chat with people, but it's always so fun to do like a little, launch and share with, an audience of people all at the same time. And there's, some super simple ways to do it. Your sponsor can team up with you and do like a little 15-minute just info blitz, and you can invite people so they can pop on and, maybe not everybody can be on live at that time if you do an online one, but the content is there so they can check it out, at a time that's convenient for them. I'll just share really quick when I've had some local people join for the business, I'll often encourage after they've made their first post and made a list of people, I will encourage them to let us come and host 1 or 2 in-person events back to back, depending how close they live to us. Mm-hmm. For example, last summer I did a little sip and share for my friend Laura, who actually restarted Plexus for not just the products, but also the business this time. Mm-hmm. And she is in health insurance. That's her day job. She works really long hours. And her husband works for road commissioner?
The highway department.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, they have had incredible results and they have built wonderful businesses in the past year. But what we did to kind of launch her is we did a Tuesday evening sip and share on her back porch. And then we did a Saturday morning sip and share. And I'll often encourage people, if they can't do 2 live ones, maybe to consider 1 in person and then follow up with an online one. Because there's always the people that like want to come, but they have soccer or they have something that they have to do. But they were really interested in and would love to plug into information. So that's where did you go? Oh, there you are. So that's maybe a little idea to consider for this month at some point while you're in the midst of sharing with all people.
Sounds good.
Carissa, did you want to pipe anything in?
Oh my gosh, y'all, my ring light just fell down. That's the problem. I rearranged my whole office because we are hosting family and someone's going to sleep back in here to this next week. But Jenna, I just tagged you and Charlotte in a training from Emily Gibson about hosting in-person events. And I don't know, oh, there you are. I was looking at random people. I don't know how much training you've dived into, training videos and stuff, but a couple of my top favorite people to learn from would be Emily Gibson and Brittany Howard. Mm-hmm. And they both are just phenomenal. And particularly Emily has a great way of taking the things that have worked for people that have been successful in Plexus and boiling what they did down to the most basic step-by-step checklists, which is like it's life to me in the season of life that I'm in right now. It's like, I don't have to look at so-and-so and be like, oh, what did they do, and analyze it and make it work for me, because Emily Gibson does that and just boils it down to these amazing bullet points. So she has done that specifically with events. And so I love that you suggested that. And I just tagged you all in. She wrote it out and did it in a video, just how to throw an event where you sign up a ton of people while you're there. Hopefully that'll be helpful. So I just wanted to chime in that, give a little plug for that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I'll say and share with you real quick, Jenna, is keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Like you're honestly doing all the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing what you're doing. And two things I'll suggest, because our networks are filled with people who want products, and our networks are also filled with people who could care less about products and they're looking for a business opportunity.
Right.
So like it's some maybe want both of those things, but so don't be afraid when you get your Apple Watch, which you should get shipped to you fairly quickly, I think. Is that right? I don't think getting shipped fairly quick once you earn it.
They want us sharing about that.
Like,
make a post.
I would encourage you to make a post about that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you'll be surprised who will think that is like the coolest thing on the planet. They will, like, seriously, it really attracts certain people. Some people it doesn't do much for, and other people they'll just, I'm in. What do I need to do? So keep doing what you're doing, and keep, the people that are on your team, keep in contact with them and find out who else wants to be doing this. And just help them do what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, you're doing all the right things. So just help your team do what you're doing, and heck, you'll be off to the races.
Mm-hmm. And so sprinkling in some ideas like, hey, if you refer 3 friends, you'll make over $300, and that would more than cover the cost of your products for the next couple months, and you don't have to budget for it. Like, that's a win-win. And so just make that part of your system as you help people get started, because you never know who's in the back of their mind, like, I wonder if I can do what Jenna's doing. I wonder if I can share like Jenna shares. I remember when I started, I was very intrigued with the business opportunity, but I was joining for products. I was not well, but I saw there was people that I knew in Plexus that I followed in health and wellness circles for like over a decade. And I was like, these products are amazing. I know that they're amazing because those people put their stamp of approval on it, and their businesses are thriving. And so there was this little piece, and I didn't start to share right away. It was a couple months in, and I wish I would have, right? But hindsight and the journey we learn by all of that. So there's no loss there. But I'm just saying, if my sponsor would have like had me make a post or encouraged me to do in a little event, I totally would have. I think I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was, learning the ropes, and she was learning the ropes too, right? We were learning together. So that's the cool thing about this. So, all right. Any thoughts come up for you?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you for hopping on and being brave.
Yeah.
Chat with you. Congratulations.
Yeah. Good work.
Thank you.
Yep.
All righty. Okay. Very fun. Well, we're going to switch it over to Carissa and welcome Brooke and Karsten, which is so fun. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yes, I know. They live a couple hours south of us. We met at a homeschool thing years ago. And she tried, I'm thinking, I think you tried like a Joy on Box a couple years ago, and we've seen each other at homeschool things. And she had reached out to me about a week and a half ago, and just was like, okay, let's chat Plexus. So the fun thing is they're both on together. And I love that Carissa's going to chat with them because Karsten is a doctor. And Brooke is a nurse. And I just think it's really cool also that Jenna, you're a nurse practitioner. So we have kind of the medical thing going on here tonight. So
seriously,
yes,
this is
so
amazing. Yeah. Hi, you guys. So Brooke and Carson, welcome.
Thank you.
And so you've been, and I think what else it sounds like we have in common is you've been in Plexus for like a week as well.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's right out of the gate and medical professionals. So we can kind of be exploring some of the questions and maybe some of the, maybe, I don't know if fears is the right word, but maybe some of the hangups or obstacles that you feel like you're going to uniquely face, or maybe you're already facing. And for those on the call that don't know anything about my story, my husband is an internal medicine doctor. We're finishing up his 3rd year of residency. And I've been supporting our family exclusively with Plexus for almost 8 years. So yeah, maybe I'll have some words of wisdom, and hopefully everybody on the call can kind of glean from what you're going through. So could you start with sharing maybe just a couple of wins you've had so far as you have decided to start the business side of Plexus? Or product wins, health wins, if that's where you're at.
Well, we haven't been on it very long. Karsten did the reset. He was my guinea pig. I did not do the reset.
Oh, really?
I did not. I have been the one. He does not like to be on social media. I mean, he that's the number one hang up for him. He hates it. So I'm like, too bad you're coming on. Well, you liked the reset.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. It went way better than I thought. This is my first day solid food again. And This was my first day in the 3 days of the reset. Just as my body's readjusting again.
Yeah.
I mean, so far so good. I definitely see some positives. And we're already talking to, I have nurses, I have other people I'm in contact with that have already been, planting seeds, putting a little bug in their ear. But for me, from a professional standpoint, I want to experience it first. I want to have something to put my reputation on.
Yeah.
If I haven't experienced it, it's really hard for me to say, you need to do this. So that's why I want to do it first. Go from there, as far as the science and stuff. A lot of that makes sense. I do sports medicine. So my family medicine days are more than a decade past. So I have to go back and review some of that, just basic science, but I think the principles are still there.
Yeah.
But I see the sports medicine side because there's so many coming in with body aches and muscle pains, and they're miserable and on all these medicines. I think every x-ray we take, everyone's constipated. Severely.
That's one of those things none of us talks about.
In all ages. So, it's, like I said, the potential's definitely there. More of, I need to live it. How does this affect me so that I can translate that to patients? And then at that point, I have to, and I'm sure you understand this, walk a fine line between what I'm promoting in the office, talking to people, because that's not directly hospital related. And as a hospital employee, I have to be very careful with that. So that's kind of some of the things we're looking at as far as just where to create a path, how to maneuver some of these issues early on. And we may have to start a YouTube channel. I don't know. We're going to have to do something to get the information out there, but
that's a great idea, though, to be exploring lots of platforms. That's a really good idea. And it's wise anyway. I'll just put this plug out there that we don't know what's going to happen with the primary social media platforms. The last year kind of gave all of us a little scare going, 99% of my business is on Facebook. And there was a couple times there I thought Facebook was just going to go up in flames. So that's wise anyway, is just to diversify how you're getting your message out there. I have a question for you. I would like you to maybe answer this for the benefit of the whole group. I think that there are a lot of people that would feel intimidated to invite you, a high-level professional, to try these products or to think about this business. And so what would you say to people in this group when it comes to why does a doctor need an opportunity like this? Why should they not avoid in offering something like this to you?
Okay. Number one, personally, I see a problem with modern medicine, at least Western medicine right now. A lot of our remedies are symptom-based. They're Band-Aids. Brooke and I have had this conversation a lot. People are on all these medicines, but it never gets to the root cause. It never corrects the problem. And there's probably a lot more medical professionals out there. I mean, the talks we have behind closed doors that we can't have in front of patients, it's there, folks. I mean, it really is. And there may be a lot more doctors that are willing to find something else, because you're constantly fighting the patients to get them to do the simple things, to take the medicines, to keep the sugars down, those kind of things. They're always looking for something that's going to make that more doable. There's no magic pill. I can't tell you how many times I've had patients come in, you don't have a pill for that? No, I don't have a pill for that. You got to work, you know? And so to be able to bridge kind of holistic approach or, you know, Eastern medicine and Western medicine, and kind of find that happy medium that, hey, a lot of these are tried and true principles for thousands of years, and we don't have to just run to a pill. We can fix, we get to the root cause. You know, that's part of the medicine that I practice, but it's all across.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, doctors are not the healthiest people out there.
I can vouch.
They work all the time. They don't have time to be healthy. You know, they're either
not part of the training.
Something else. So, you know, and they're overweight and they don't have time. So don't be afraid to talk to a doctor. They're a person first and foremost, you know, and so they will be approachable, especially if you're coming up to them in a personal way. And like you said, if you have a little bit of research behind that, or you got these testimonies. I had a friend with horrible gut issues, and he totally went against his doctor. He is a doctor, went against his specialist recommendations, started a restricted diet, and healed his gut. And basically the other doctor said, okay, whatever, you know, you're going to find some of that, but there are plenty of people out there. And if they're having their own issues and they don't want to be taking medicines, you may find a lot of good folks ready to give it a try. And then you're going to have those testimonies behind you as more and more people with the same background can bring those testimonies forward and help others.
Yeah. And could you two share, can you pinpoint some of the ways the Goffs were intentional about offering Plexus to you and why that appealed to you? Either of you can. Popcorn.
Okay, sorry, you cut out. Could you repeat it? Sorry.
Sorry about that. I was saying yes. And could either of you share or pinpoint a couple of the ways the Goffs were able to intentionally catch your attention with Plexus? Was it through conversations? Was it through posts?
Our internet is cutting out. It's probably us. We have horrible internet. So, okay, so you were saying how Megan Reed, we met, it's been a couple years. When I first heard about Plexus, we were just chatting, and I think I asked what they did. They were talking about building, or I think they were getting ready to build their house or something. That's how it happened. That's how we just heard the name. And then time passed, and she did send me a beauty box, because we were talking mainly about skincare at that time. And I tried it, but I will be honest, neither Karsten nor I are we're not ill. We're not there. We see so many more people who are sicker than us. And so I reached out to Megan because Carson and I have had like so many conversations over the last 6 months, probably, about like, he doesn't like where administration is going. He doesn't like how some of this healthcare is going. So that's kind of how it got started. But she's been great because we chat a lot, and I feel like I bug her to death because I have a lot of questions. Mainly because when I posted the first time, my phone blew up. It blew up. I think I've only signed on like 2 people, but there's a lot of like in the conversation, in the works. I feel salesy. And so we have to just get over some of that and just, but I guess because I don't have like big personal testimonies with this, we just know that this makes sense. And we've been doing gut health stuff for a while on our own. And we understand the concept of that. So it's just interesting how I think it was just totally a God thing. It just worked out, and we started chatting and decided to try it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that makes
It does. But the reason I ask it is because a lot of people answer similarly to that. When we coach, we say, okay, now what did your sponsor actually do to get you in? And a lot of people are like, I guess it was just God's timing. I guess it just worked out. But I love to draw your attention to what they did, because I guarantee you there are probably 50 things that they did over the weeks, months, and years to continue dripping on you and building your belief and inviting you in and just extending their arms. And I think when we become aware of that, we're able to be a little more intentional as we share. One aspect of your story that I really resonated with was 8 years ago when my husband was applying to medical school. It was a similar boat. We were just learning about gut health, the wild world within, and like everything that is influenced by it. And it was mind-blowing. Yeah. And I would encourage you to channel that when you start to feel those whispers of, I feel salesy, because you're going to act in accordance with what you believe about yourself. And if you believe that you're coming across salesy, you're going to stifle attempts to invite people, and you're going to stifle yourself from going ahead and nudging them toward clicking join. But the truth is that like nobody's life can change until the order is actually headed to their door. And it is still really, I don't say that to downplay all these conversations you have started, because that's really good. And it typically takes like 8 to 12 touch points for somebody to feel comfortable enough to place an order. So nothing is going wrong, even though you've only signed 2 people from that first, from that huge blow up of your phone. But I would just speak that encouragement into you that their life really can't begin to transform until they actually click place order. And if you truly believe, and I think you do, that gut health is this mystery piece of the puzzle that is just at the core of all of these issues that everybody is struggling with, it's the root, like you were saying, Karsten, then it's not salesy to be trying to get people in on that, to try and pass that blessing along to people. So it's good that you are kind of aware that you're like, I feel salesy, and you can just kind of explore a little bit like, okay, so what am I making that mean about me? Or what negative connotation do I have associated with sales and salespeople? And who are some of the salespeople that I have like felt icky about in the past? And okay, now how do I want to feel about the fact that I'm here? You know what? Like, I'm here to sell some Plexus. You said like, we're not unwell. We're not ill people. I'm glad you said that, because again, there's a lot of people on the call who might look at a power couple like you and go, well, and they're not even that unhealthy. So I'm like totally not going to reach out to them about Plexus because they don't even need it. They certainly don't need the money, right? They don't need the opportunity. They don't need it for their health. And so they would tell themselves no for you. And we don't ever want to tell people no for them. We want to leave that in their court, right? But you said, you know, we are here because we see the writing on the wall for the medical field, and we are building a plan B. We're building a bridge between, you know, Eastern medicine and Western medicine, all of these great reasons that nobody else is going to know for you just by trying to examine you from the outside in. So I would just encourage you that that's the case for everybody, you know, that they have reasons and they have pain points. They have, you know, sometimes even with like power couples, maybe they need a creative outlet, or maybe they want a way to take vacations and, you know, it not have to be this departure from their, you know, family budget or whatever. There's all kinds of things. So yeah. Okay. What did you guys, Megan said she asked you to write down some questions. So what did you bring?
Okay. I'll get my paper out.
Okay.
Well, we have answered some of them. And then when Megan was interviewing Jenna, she answered some of those too. But a couple things, like and this is more like on the business side,
okay.
When somebody does order from you,
Mm-hmm.
How long do you reach out to them frequently when they first start their stuff, or do you wait till they say something? One girl in particular I know, and I think she's familiar with the products, so she hasn't had a lot of questions, but another girl that signed up, and she was older, and I had to walk her through the whole website, and that I was happy to do that. But I guess, how much do you bother people? Does that make sense?
Ooh, okay. So I'm hearing a theme from you. I'm hearing a definite theme that you feel like you're bothering people. So I'm gonna put that out there, put it out there into the air, because we want to remember we're blessing people. You have the thing that is at the root of almost every problem everybody's dealing with. You have it. And so are we bothering them by giving it to, I'll just put that out there to you. But in my experience, early on, I made the total mistake of thinking that everybody's like me, and I take my vitamins every day and no one ever has to remind me, and it's not hard. And I have learned in 8 years that I am the 1%. Does anybody else identify with that? And so I don't bother people, but I do need to know what the heck is going on over there, or I cannot get them results. And we're here to get them results. And so I have learned to be pleasantly persistent. Again, I have changed all the verbiage in my head around these things. So no, I don't bother people. I don't bug people. I don't annoy people, but I'm pleasantly persistent because I do need a clear picture of what's going on over there. So I like to check in pretty often. I like to check in and say, will you text me when your box arrives? Or I say, send me a picture when your box arrives, because then they don't know, but we're going to turn around and post the picture. And then they're going to start sharing. So I'll say, text me a picture when your box arrives. And then 3-4 days in, if I haven't heard from them, I'll tap and say, hey, so how much of everything are you taking every day? And I send instructions and dosages for sure, but it always blows my mind how many people either don't read that or just go rogue and I don't know. So I've learned, yeah, I do. I check in and say, okay, how many of that are you taking? How many of this are you taking? When I ask how it's going, I pop in and say, hey, so what's your total feedback so far? Tell me all the things. What are you loving? What are you learning? What do you think you're going to start doing differently? What are some of your wins? So I'm asking a lot of questions that are putting a positive spin on the experience. I think you two might be a little frozen. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, and this is being recorded, so if you missed anything, you can always watch back. I ask lots of questions that help guide the conversation in a positive direction. Asking what some of their wins are, what some of their non-scale victories are. But I do ask for like, what's your total feedback? What are you learning? What do you think so far? Anything you're thinking you might want to tweak? Let's troubleshoot, let's talk. I do it in a natural way. And I don't consider it bothering them. I consider it, I'm here to get you results because you came to me to get results. And so hopefully that's helpful. And of course, after that first couple of weeks, I don't have to check in every few days, but I still do try to check in at least midway through their ordering cycle. And then again, right before their order, because we want to make sure we catch, if there's something they want to tweak, I don't ever say, oh, you can just turn your order off. I don't say that, but I say, if we need to tweak your order in any way or change the date, let's do it. It's totally fine. It's a flexible subscription. But I do try to catch them before because it's a lot easier than having to, return a product afterward and all of that.
Okay.
Okay. So what else is on your list?
I think most of them are answered. I guess it's mainly, I have a lot of fear. I think that's probably my, all these people are going to try it and it's all going to come back to bite me and people are going to be like, this didn't work. And, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, well, thanks for sharing. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying whether or not they're taking it and being, proactive on other things like their diet, who knows why it doesn't work for them, but
totally.
I think I'm just, because I'm so new at this, I think part of me is like, oh, I've not been on this long enough to be like, yes, you're going to feel fabulous, and I feel kind of like I'm a fraud or something. And I know that sounds awful, but I feel like
I am so thankful you're being very honest and I really appreciate it. Keep it up.
And I'm not saying the products aren't great. I think they are great. I think it's just because we're so new at this. I don't.
There's so many variables.
And there's so many variables. It's kind of like, oh, these people are going to say, well, this is not what she told me.
Yeah. It's totally, you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah. Yes.
You are putting yourself out there and few do it because it is scary to put yourself out there. And a lot of people would rather do something easy and comfortable. And so 100%, we all feel that way. We all have felt that way to varying degrees. So it's not awful. It's humanity. But I just want to applaud you because the fact that you're putting yourself out there is brave. And people watching you be brave, it gives them permission to be brave, to be courageous. Courage is contagious. I would encourage you to wake up each day, especially in times where you're maybe sitting down to make a post or you are following up with some of the conversations you've got going, or you're checking in on these product users that you've gotten started. I would encourage you to ask the simple question, what's the best that could happen? Just what's the best that could happen? And just allow your mind to go there and allow your mind to sit there and dwell there, because all the things you said are possibilities. Yes, people might not have lifestyle habits that align well with their products and then might not have a great product experience, or might have detox, and like Megan, you said you were in the throes of detox, right? And so they might blame the products for the fact that their body feels a little bit worse before it starts feeling better. There are a lot of scenarios where it can go south, but there are a lot of scenarios where it can go really, really well. And you may not have any idea what that could be, but I can tell you that what you believe is going to inform what you do. So if you believe that every person I get started is one more person that has the chance to like tarnish my name forever. You're going to self-protect. You know, and I'm not saying, oh, shame on you for believing that. I'm actually just saying it's good that you're aware. It's good that you're aware. And once you become aware of a thought pattern, it becomes a choice. And so then you're back in the seat of power. You're back in the driver's seat and you go, oh, I'm aware now that I'm having that thought that, you know, that everybody I reach out to about this is, you know, is a potential, I'm going to be in disgrace kind of thing. And so then when you're aware of that, it becomes a choice, and you can ask yourself, how do I want to feel about sharing Plexus? How do I want to feel about each and every person I reach out to and get signed up? And when you can come up with a phrase about how you want to feel about it, that's what you start repeating. And then that repetition starts to kind of firm that up in your mind a little bit. So how do you want to feel? Answer that for us. How do you want to feel about selling Plexus, sharing Plexus, offering Plexus to people?
I think confident,
Mm-hmm.
and in like, I don't know if empowered is the right word, but feeling like I'm a nurse. I stay home with the boys now, but I mean, we both went into the medical field to help people.
Yeah.
I want to help people. And there's a whole lot of people I can think of that they're sick. And I just feel like I want to be that, that someone that people can go to help.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So you want to be that someone people can go to for help. How are you going to let the people know that you're that someone?
I probably have to just get over myself.
Well, it's not that easy. Just get over myself. What's one baby step you can take in the direction of becoming the someone people know they can go to for help?
Well, being real and honest, you know, with them about what we're learning, and what we're going through, and why are we doing this? And then, but also, I mean, just probably just posting and just having the courage to post something.
Posting courageously.
And you too, babe.
Yeah. As you learn. You can go and you can share as you learn, and it doesn't have to be, you know, obviously it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be professional Plexus people to be learning and sharing what you're learning. You really only have to know about 10% more than somebody else about something in order to be able to teach them about it. And sometimes high-level professionals can feel like I shouldn't open my mouth about this unless I know everything about it. But maybe that little bit of grace of like, hey, if I know 10% more than someone else about the topic of the gut, I can pass a tidbit along to them that could really change their day to day. I love, you also said real and honest and share about why we're doing this. There's a lot of people who follow you, who respect you, who know that you're legit people. And they probably struggle with a lot of the objections that you struggle with. And they probably don't want to be salesy, and they probably don't, you know, are afraid, like, what if I jump into this and my network doesn't love it, or I don't love it. So I think that you're going to connect with people if you're open and honest about some of the fears that are maybe keeping you a little quieter. So maybe if you're going to jump on and make a post about a certain topic, you start it off and say, first of all, I've been terrified to make this post, but here goes. And then you make that post. I think you'll connect with a lot of people who share that fear. Let's see, posting courageously. Okay. So what would be is there a courageous thing you want to say or post in the back of your mind that you've been holding yourself back from doing?
I don't on my end, but maybe for him. Don't you think?
Oh,
He's got a lot of
I have
things
lots of
spinning.
video ideas.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I like to educate. I spend way too much time with my patients educating.
He's one that runs
I
behind.
love to teach. So yeah, I mean, I've got all these thoughts in my head. It's just organizing and then just being ready to post that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Okay.
again, I'm kind of in a hard situation, professionally. I think I can get around some of that with like a YouTube channel or something where I can post videos, or even, Facebook or whatever, where I can record something and post it and just say, hey, I gave a little talk on that. Why don't you go check it out?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can refer people back that direction. But it's just getting that organized and set up.
Okay. So I guess if there were one burning topic that was going to be your first educational topic, what would it be?
Well, after my intro video of why I'm doing it, I would probably just talk about the different facets of health, and trying to bring it all into a kind of a general picture of what everybody knows but needs to be stated over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You are what you eat.
Yes.
Your activity level, good sleep, all of that together, I think would probably just kind of a general starter video, and then from there maybe break it down more individually.
Mm-hmm. Into like blood sugar and
right. Yes. Yeah. And as I try more products or get some things where I can add in some personal stuff, or someone that we've already blessed or whatever, then they can come in and add their testimony with it. That would kind of be my vision of bringing this up, because again, sports medicine is what I do. So I have thousands of lecture topics stored in my head that I could do online, various different things. So that would be kind of my direction and be the first thing I would potentially work on.
Okay. Well, good. So I asked that just because sometimes the forest is so overwhelming, and sometimes it's just like, well, what's my starter step? Like what I asked you, Brooke, like what's your next baby step in the direction of how do I let the world know I'm the person I want them to come to for help? We've got to zoom in, get away from the forest and zoom in to like, what's the next baby step on the path? I'm also going to send y'all 2 links. What you're describing, I kind of started doing this year. So I've done one YouTube that's called our Fat Loss Education Night. And I brought in mindsets, lifestyle habits, and Plexus products that can all work together to support fat loss. And then we've done a similar call all about mental health. And for that one, I brought in Chris, my husband, to speak a little bit on the medical side. So maybe that could serve as a little bit of an example or an inspiration to kind of help you firm up like that plan. But I would challenge you both to go ahead and do that why video. Why are you doing this? Get some bullet points written down. And what's the harm in just you two together live on Facebook? I know you're not a social media guy. So if you're on Brooke's Facebook.
Yeah, we shared it, and Megan has challenged us to do it. I thought, well, maybe we'll do it tonight.
Ooh, love it. Yeah. I'm seriously, like, your why is powerful because who you are is powerful. Like people already know you're legit. They already know you're well-trained. And so just the fact that you're doing it speaks volumes. And so when you share why, I think that you're going to have a lot of people watching, paying attention. And the beauty of that is that once people are paying attention, then everything that you're putting out there afterward, it might be the thing that strikes the chord for them. Maybe their kid deals with eczema and they're taking steroids all the time and they don't know the gut health inflammation link, and they saw your why video. And then one day they see the post that speaks to their pain point. So sometimes putting yourself out there doing those scary things is just setting you up to have more eyes, to have people watching, which I know it's like a blessing and also a fear because it's like, okay, they're watching, what if we mess up? It's okay. It's okay. Even if you do mess up. But I just want to encourage you all that you can get out there and get some of those steps going, and then just keep dripping. Just keep dripping the different things. I'm serious, those posts. And I don't know, are you doing this? You said you made one post.
Well, we've made a couple. I've made 3, I guess. Yeah, okay. Like the symptoms check, like the list of symptoms was the first thing, because I think Megan sent it to me, and then that is what I posted. The list of symptoms, and that's what people were like, oh my goodness, I have all this stuff. And then I think I did 2 stories on like the reset, the box, and then after he was done, or the last day. Yeah. So
okay, very good. Are you yet like writing down names and organizing a list of names? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you've got names written down of people that have reached out to you, or what are you writing down?
Multiple people who either made like a comment or something. So I have all those names, and then I have a list of names that were like an ongoing conversation.
Okay, awesome. So the only other little mini challenge I would say is as you kind of settle into like, yes, this is who we are. We're owning it. We're the ones we want people to come to for help. I'm loving that. Those were your words. I want you to kind of live into that identity. So as you kind of settle into that, you can start using bolder language about like, this is our home business, and so on. And then every time somebody even just likes, a post, even if they don't reach out in curiosity, I would encourage and challenge you to start a conversation with them and say, hey, we just really want to thank you for showing support to our home business. Whether you have a need or not, it really helps us get our message out to people who need what we have. And that's our why. We want to get our message out to people who need what we have. So thank you for engaging. Thank you for liking my post. It truly means the world. Please keep it up. And were you actually curious about anything Plexus related, or are you just being an amazing supportive friend? Either way, thank you so much. But you can just start a lot of conversations that way. And a lot of people watch and don't reach out, or they may not even like, but a lot of people are watching. So that's just a second little challenge to you, is to actually create conversations intentionally with even just the likes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you, guys. Don't let me forget Megan to send them those 2 YouTube links. And I'm guessing that you guys are already hooking them up with some resources from Thomas Hemingway. Okay, so do you want to share? I know that you wanted to plug a few events, Megan.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to just wrap up here. Thank you guys for being on, and Jenna and Brooke and Carson. Very fun. Thanks, guys, for talking, and everybody learned so much by all of it. And so anyways, after we all get back from Hawaii, there's going to be 2 calls the last week of September. Okay, so write these down on your planners. On the 27th, there's going to be a Jewel-led coaching by Cassie Howard, and then Jules from our team. And so that's going to be amazing. And you're going to earn that by plugging into the Dive into Kona little challenge that's going to be coming out soon. All right, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and you'll earn that coaching by doing 9 days of what we call IPA, which, if you're not familiar with that acronym, it means income producing activity. And we can share more about specifics on that, but that coaching is something to set your reminders in your calendar on. And then on the 29th, the One Team Jules and Cassie Howard from Carissa's team are going to be hosting an opportunity call about sharing the reset. Also on that night, I didn't realize that there was, well, not that it's a conflict, it's actually great. We have 2 opportunities to plug people into. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so on the 29th, also, so Thomas Hemingway, Dr. Thomas Hemingway, who, Carson, we need to get you connected with him. He's a great educator as well. He does some amazing stuff, not just Plexus, but just like health in general, and really educating his network. He does an amazing job. So he is a diamond in Plexus. His wife's a double diamond in Plexus. and she was a nurse also.
Mhm.
I believe ICU nurse before Plexus. So he'll be doing an opportunity call. I'll be doing that with him on the 29th. So that'll be a good one. So as I think this is really important to point out, Karsten mentioned earlier about reaching out to medical professionals. I think it's maybe one of the first things that Carissa had asked. And just suggesting that a lot of them might be more open than we realize about helping people with root issues, right? So knowing that if you know of medical professionals in your network, share this opportunity call with them. You're not out anything, so invite them to this call. You'll get to hear from a blue collar guy and a doctor. So who knows? We'll see what could happen. We'll cover all the bases. It'll be perfect.
Is it for men only?
I think it might be a men's opportunity call. So I can confirm that, but I'm pretty sure it's for men. So
but girls can
a lot of women in Plexus are always wanting to know, is there a men's event that I can plug someone in? Well, here you go. Here's a great one. So it's a men's event, and it's you have he was an emergency room doctor, I believe, is what he was, maybe. And it's going to be a good call. It'll be a good time. It'll be a good resource for all of us to use.
Yes. So we will get the graphics and the information posted about that. And guys, this was so fun.
What time, she said?
I'm not sure what time. We will get that information.
Be looking for links. When we get the Zoom link from Brooke and from Thomas, we will share it everywhere. It will be everywhere.
All righty. Awesome. Well, stay tuned because there is a Kona challenge coming up that will be posted various places that you guys can plug into. And actually, Brooke, I recorded a call today about customer care. And so it kind of actually detailed some specifics, just like Carissa was talking about. Don't wait for them to come to you. We need to initiate. So I'll actually, it's a private video, but I'll send it to you real quick so you can get skinny on the inside scoop. So
yes, be proactive in following up with your customers. I still have a guy that won't talk to me too much because he took like a lot of BioCleanse the first day, like 6 years ago. And he's still, I keep following up because that's my job, and because he needs the products, but he just can't get past all the magnesium and the porta potty he spent half the day in. So
oh my,
I should have reached out sooner. I didn't know what I was doing, but so we're sharing with you. Follow up quickly and often with your customers.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. With that, we'll end. Thanks guys for popping on.
See ya.